Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. If you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button, give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetCrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Friday, July 31st, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, folks, here we go. The Hockey Betting Podcast. We've actually seen hockey teams on frozen water and have an idea. I think we spotted a couple teams maybe running for the bus, which we thought would happen, and confirm some opinions and maybe change some opinions. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, Cam Stewart north of the border. On the plus side, my friend, I would just say kudos to the NHL. Hats off to them. This thing absolutely, to me, looks like it's going to work. Baseball, I think, will be done by this time next week.
Yep, couldn't agree more. We talked about it. And, we're not Dr. Fauci. Brian, you didn't go to Harvard. I went to community college. I don't know if you went to Lackawanna High or whatever the hell.
Hey, wait a minute. No, I'm capable of changing my mind every other day.
Yes. Bottom line is such. We told you, baseball flying all over the countryside and doing this and not leaving yourself a window. It was a disaster. It's been a disaster. Just take a look at the Marlins. But no positive tests in the NBA bubble. Same with hockey. I think we're going to get this thing done. And, hey, a couple people might get it. The thing is getting them out and making things go. You can't have whole teams getting it. That's the problem that happened in MLS where they kicked out a couple teams. But I think we're good. And I got to tell you, Brian, just watching the games, the speed looked good. That's the thing about these athletes. Like, I've known a couple guys who played in the league. You do too. And, they like to have fun. Let's not call it out for what it is. I suck back beers, but I'm an overweight guy. These guys are in fantastic tip-top shape. And for the first games they came out there, they were flying around. They looked good. And I have a feeling, we're going to see some real nice hockey.
No, and they were into it. And we saw a couple of fights and some passion. And
I like it.
And that sort of thing. So, no, I think that's spectacular. The one thing I would ask you just very briefly as an overview, because I know we've talked about this for weeks on end, that maybe the skill guys, it would take them a while to get up to speed and really be sharp and crisp. Watching the one broadcast the other day was Brian Boucher was saying, and I'm open to say he may be right, that he thinks offense and higher scoring out of the game may be the way to go, because he thinks more than anything, these guys are, as you said, they're in shape. They're that good, but he thought it would be higher scoring because he thought there would be tons of breakdowns in terms of, okay, the guys are up to speed and they're all fast and doing what they do, but they got to get back in the rhythm and groove of what the coach wants to do from a system perspective. And I'm like, that's actually a pretty good point.
Oh, I agree 100%. And, even when we were doing our betting show, Brian Morency, he played goal, and we talk about these things. Long layoffs for goaltenders. I talked to another one. It's not good for them. It's kind of like, it's pitcher versus batter. I think the goaltenders are going to be a little bit rusty because the players look like they're ready to go. They look like they're in shape. They were fantastic. So I'm thinking higher scoring games too. I know they're setting these things up 5.5, 6s, and there's a couple series that, we're going to smash overs. I'm not going to say every game is going to go over. Obviously, take a look at the NBA. That line steamed from 220 to 228.5. I told my buddy on my gambling show, I go, don't bet the over. Don't bet the over. Like, please don't do it. But people do their own thing. I'm going to say this, though. In hockey, I think we're going to see out of 10 games, probably 6 or 7 would go to the over. I think the players are going to be ahead of the goaltenders. I think we're going to have some, 5-3, 5-4 type of games. I'm with you. I agree. Boucher played in the league, right, Bri? He knows what's going on.
Right, but the only thing I would say, though, is, and they were exhibition games.
They were.
No, virtually every one of them went under.
I know. That's the thing, but
But now you don't know who they were playing.
A lot of fourth liners too, Brian. We were watching these games, so the elite players didn't play the ice time they usually do. A lot of fourth liners, guys seeing, who he looks good. This guy might be a little bit out of shape. So coaches are still making decisions. So when I watch what was on. I don't. It's actually good. I'm glad these games went under because we're going to get imagine they were like 7-6 out of the gate. They're like, whoa. This is good because now we're getting at least respectable lines that we can deal with.
Okay, let's go. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Saturday's going to be great. 6 games, morning, noon, and night. This will be great fun.
It will.
All right, let's start with Edmonton's $1.50 against the Blackhawks. The total is 6. There are a couple of 6.5s out there. I can actually see goals here, and I thought there was, and I'm not going to overreact to an exhibition game. I thought the Blackhawks looked good. The Kubalik kid's really, really good, and Edmonton played Calgary, and I thought they looked good. I didn't think either Edmonton or Calgary looked exceptional. But the thing is, Edmonton is so much more than McDavid and Draisaitl. You've got Anthony Siu, who you don't know, if he shows up. But the Yamamoto kid, and I will tell you, if Edmonton does anything, who's going to have a big say in it? Of all people, and this will sound nuts, but it's not, because they need secondary scoring, is Tyler Ennis.
Not just Tyler Ennis, and I think Edmonton, too, a guy like Nurse, like on their blue line. I think Edmonton's the type of team. I agree with everything you're saying. And people don't realize, we know Tyler Ennis, former Sabre, former Leaf. He's a guy that can really step. He's an interesting player because you're kind of like, whatever. But, Brian, he shows up in big games. Like, he's had good playoffs before.
From a skill set perspective, he's one of the most underrated guys in the league.
I agree.
I mean, he really can generate and create and finish.
He's fast.
And in the right style. And I think Edmonton's a perfect fit for him. I just think if Edmonton does anything, don't be shocked that Tyler Ennis is a big producer for them. Anyway, I'm not pulling the trigger on it.
I am pulling the trigger, Brian, because I have no discipline. You're more like the uncle. Settle down, Cam. Settle down. But I'm going to probably play the board. I'm not going nuts on units, but I want to have action all over the place. And you know what? I look for dogs. I just think Edmonton's speed, and you talk about it, it's tough. Chicago still has good players. I get it. But these guys are a little long at the tooth. And Edmonton is jumping to get jumping. I don't mind minus 155. I think it's actually an attainable price. I thought it would be around, $1.80. But I'm going to put them in parlays.
The only thing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and I'm not like, I know a lot of people say, Chicago. The two are Chicago and Montreal.
Montreal. I'm not listening.
I'm not buying Montreal in any way, shape, or form.
Nor am I.
Chicago thing, though. Honestly, I thought they looked really good. The only thing I would say from a cautionary buyer beware tale, you're right. They're defensemen, those guys, they're long in the tooth. Cam, these guys are fresh as daisies right now.
I know. You're right.
No, they're not old guys that were worn down over 82 games. They're old guys with experience that are fresh. That's just a cautionary tale. It may 2 weeks from now, if Chicago's still playing, believe me, that angle's absolutely the right thing. I would at least give them the benefit of the doubt to come out of the gate like gangbusters.
I lean Edmonton and over. Brian, we skipped the noon o'clock game. You're so excited about the Edmonton Oilers. You forgot about Carolina and the Rangers, buddy.
I just didn't go. I'm just rattling off games. I didn't go
because Brian, you're like a kid on Christmas. You're just
I just went off
a long time. This is great.
No, Cameron. It's the Hockey Betting Podcast. So I just went off the rotation.
Oh, okay. I
see how that works.
I get it.
If you hadn't figured it out by now, this is the Hockey Betting Podcast.
I get it. What else do you like?
The listening. In a loving way, I'll just say the listeners can figure out what the hell time these games start.
I get it. I know. I'm just saying. I thought we were going to go. Anyway, yes.
Oh no.
For all you turkeys out there, you know what I mean. I don't know if you're playing big units, small units. I like Edmonton, and I lean over 6. It seems like a lot, but this has got goals written all over it. Don't you think?
I would lean over.
I'm not going to smash it, but I think we can get to 6. I think 6 is a push, like at worst 4-2 type of thing. I think we get over 6. I see
that's a series that neither defense sets the world on fire.
Correct.
And Kane and Taves, McDavid and Draisaitl. You don't have to go much further. All right, Cameron. I'm going to do this for you. We're going to go right back, and you're right. Yes, you are. All right, we'll go chronologically. We get the fun started with New York and Carolina. And the only thing I'm going to tell you, Pally, we've said this all along. Carolina's $1.30. The total in the game is 6. Everybody loves the Rangers, and I'm just trying to figure out why. I like Carolina.
I do too. I think Carolina's the play. I know they had a couple lapses against Washington. Who doesn't? Like, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. Carolina's going to be fine. They, even without Dougie Hamilton, they got good defense. They got wicked snipers. They're a fast team. As for the Rangers, I think it's the Panarin factor, Brian. Let's call it out for what it is. He's one of the best players in the league, and people like to get behind superstars. I think Kreider coming back, it's interesting. The Rangers have a lot of talent on their team, but I'm not getting – if you like them as a dog at plus 105, I don't think it's enough. I think it's a very short price on Carolina. I would have made this line $1.35, $1.40, probably 15 cents more. I like the Canes. I know right now, Brian, I'm a dog man. Down boy. But I'm taking chalk right now. That's the thing. Like I'm out there looking for dogs. They found another spot. I'm the dog catcher. I can't catch anybody right now. I like 2 small favorites right now. Carolina is a nice price. Anything. Hey, Brian, we're laying on a quarter or under, like 120, 125. Sign me up. I'm with the Canes. I think they're a dangerous team, and personally, I have futures on these guys. I think they can go deep.
Well, okay. And I always say this. I mean, when you've got an opinion, I will tell you, and we'll get to them eventually. But last night it was the get-out game. Golden Knights playing Arizona, and all the question marks about Arizona and the GM. We'll get more to the Arizona here in a minute. But don't forget, it was a wonderful evening. I had Vegas on the puck line plus $1.90. Don't forget about the puck line. And, they won 4-1. Mm-hmm. It was 2-1 with then finally the Coyotes scored, Tuck scored, then the empty netter. But the puck line's in play here. I mean, for parlays and that home run. I can tell you a couple games where I'd consider it, and this might be one.
Yep, I agree. I don't know about the total in this game, but I'm all about Carolina.
Yeah, no, I'm on to the next one. Florida and the Islanders. I'm just telling you,
this could be an under.
I said all along, I don't trust either one of these teams. And it's only one game, but I am way more inclined to trust the Islanders now based on what I saw. I think the bus is running for Florida. Mm-hmm. They look like a bunch of pukes to me. It's
pukes.
I don't know. I know
that's what we say. Parlay playing pukes. Those guys who lay minus 500 in their UFC parlays. I'm with you. Hey, listen. The Islanders, Brian, what is the best thing that happened to them? The break. Barry Trotz goes, hey, guys, what are we doing trying to play track meets with people? We are the New York damn Islanders. We're got the lead 3-1, and we're going to play lockdown defense. We're going to suffocate you. They got guys back. I like the Islanders over those pussycats named the Panthers.
No, so do I. And I'm telling you, if the Islanders get a lead, it's like virtually over.
Yeah, they're a snake. They're a python.
They're going
to squeeze.
Oh, they squeezed the Rangers. They squeezed them. Yeah.
Brian, remember the and I was listening to some of the the tweets and all the others that the people like parlay. Well, I got it under na under. How about under 5.5 for our friends from AC/DC with Pussycats and Isles? Under na. You like that? 5.5, 3-1 Islanders.
Making up songs.
I just looked at Lisa. She gave me a look like that joke sucked. But anyway, we have fun on the show. Anyway, I like the Islanders and the under. Sorry, Pussycats.
You're making up songs as we wrap this thing up. It's great.
Yeah. Yes. But we agree, Islanders.
And I absolutely, this was my best pick of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is. And that opinion is enhanced now. I love Winnipeg over Calgary. They got the firepower up front, and they got Hellebuck. And I watched Calgary. Kachuk is out there. He's doing everything he can. The other guys were Casper the Friendly Ghost against the Oilers. I love Winnipeg.
But the best thing about this series is how everyone's bigging up Calgary. Oh, playoffs in the past, and they can do this and they can do that. You know what? Who cares? I look at Calgary. I agree with you. I see a team that just doesn't have the grit, determination. or the willpower to do anything. Like, hey, they can win. They're minus 115 in this game, but I'll take the Jets and Hellebuck any day of the week. And Calgary, I think they can be the type of team to get frustrated, take stupid penalties, and really dig their own grave. I like the Jets, too. They're the dog, small pooch, even money. I'm in. I like the Winnipeg Jets as well, Brian.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past. Nothing's changed. And
huge goaltending advantage, too. Look who Calgary rolls out.
Well, that was the
big save Dave and Cam Talbot.
Listen, this was all about, for starters, you have Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Okay, and you sit there and go, yeah, but the Jets defense. But then you go, but you've got Scheifele, Connor, Wheeler, Liney, and the better goalie. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is. And I think the price is right. I think people think Calgary's due, and I don't play the due factor. So, yeah, we're in. Winnipeg Jets for us.
And, my friend, I got to tell you, the only other series I like two. And we've talked about this, and we had a friendly disagreement on it. First, I saw the Leafs play. I go, they look pretty good. And then I'm thinking about it. Okay, well, right out of the gate, he threw 48% of his salary cap out there on the ice together. He had Marner, Matthews, and Tavares playing on the same line.
Yep.
All right. Okay, fine. And they were great, and they're great players. But if you're doing that and you've got an answer to negate that, if you're putting all your eggs in that basket,
it's not a good idea. And they won't do it. Trust me. That's what they're doing in exhibition, Brian.
It's exhibition. Okay. But let me tell you something. Columbus sure as hell showed up I'm thinking they're live in this spot, play a simple, straight north-south game, and they put the Sasquatch foot in exhibition game on Boston. But everything I thought was potentially there for Columbus, they showed me in the exhibition game. I still think Columbus has a big shot.
They do. A lot of people I respect in the gaming community think it's going the distance. A lot of people think Columbus in 5. I think Toronto. Earlier, I thought that they were going to win, and no, they're probably. I think like them in 5. The line's gone down. I think this is a big opportunity for the Leafs. It's the same kind of, and I don't like these storylines before games and, narratives. I think narratives are stupid. Utah Jazz, they all hate each other with COVID. Yeah, well, they came back and won the game. Make your own opinions. Let's talk. Toronto, though, on the other hand, in comparison to Calgary, the break, I think, helps them more. I think they were underachieving. I think they're a damn good team. And speed, to me, means everything early in this COVID-19 era, right, Brian? That's the one thing that they have fresh out of the gate. They have the speed, but Columbus is a very good team. It's a tough matchup for them. I like them, but I don't love it. If you like Columbus in the first game getting 35 cents, I think that's cool. And if they win the first game, most of the teams that win the first game win the series. Columbus is a good number. I'm not going to steer anybody away from it.
No, and you know what? I mean, I honestly, and I did skip to Sunday there, but honestly,
yes, you did.
Columbus in the first game,
yes,
may indeed be safer than the series. But because they could win the first game and lose the series. But if they're going to win the series, I think they got to win the first game. So playing Columbus in game 1 may be the safer play than the series at the same price.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So the one game we didn't go, do you put Pittsburgh in parlays at minus 170 against Montreal? I think I do. I don't even care. Like you just turn it to plus money with something else that you like. Right?
Well, but everybody's so. The funny thing is, I mean, all these people, watch out for Montreal with Carey Price. But at the same time, I do hear people, this is the best, deepest team Pittsburgh's rolled out in a long time. And I'm like,
not really.
I'm not buying that either. I hate this series.
Yeah, it's not a good series. Pittsburgh will get it. Pittsburgh should win the opener, though. People want to take Montreal just because they're 150. I'm going to pass. I think I might parlay Pittsburgh with Edmonton just to get a nice plus beside it. So, yeah, I'm down with that. I'm not taking Montreal, even though the price is attractive.
All right. I saw Arizona all 60 minutes. I mean, geez. I mean,
you know what? Team that I like, but all this whole situation with their GM selling them out and stuff, this team's their heads are in the clouds. I think it's probably Nashville now. Like, they have a lot of problems within their organization that they're dealing with.
Listen, Kemper's really good. Arizona couldn't get a shot on goal for long stretches of the game. They made a 10-minute
play.
They made a 10-minute push in the third period against Vegas, but that was it. But they weren't generating anything.
Under.
And I know you're beat to a pulp and sick of them. I'm sick of them, but it's like, to me, this is the goofball format that out of nowhere, a team like Nashville that's underachieved shows up and makes a Tootsie Roll. I don't know. I like Nashville in the series.
Yeah, man, you know what? I originally thought, hey, this is what's going to happen. Arizona looks good with the guys that they have, but no, I just don't like the whole situation they have going, Brian, with this GM thing. I wanted to go to New Jersey, and it's just, there's too much of a distraction there. And you said it, this team really has problems scoring. I think the way to play it is probably Nashville to the under. I see a 3-1 type of game. I think we get under 5.5. I do like Nashville.
All right. Well, Philly and Boston. I thought Philly is just this home team, and the only reason I would step up to the plate, and I mean this sincerely, is why this is a goofball. It's fun, and it's going to be great. And once these guys play, get up the rhythm, and you advance. And now, hey, we had a chance to get our name in a cup. I don't care if you're doing it in a bubble, a pond, or whatever. The hockey's going to get great. But if there's a team that the break really was bad for, to me, is Boston. And I think they're feeling sorry for themselves. They were going to be the President's Trophy winners, and all of a sudden they're back in this seeding nonsense. And
yep.
I don't think they're happy at all.
I don't know, Brian. You want to talk about one series I'm probably going to pass on? This is the one. I want to take the Flyers as a dog. Do I trust them against Boston? No, because Boston's been there before. I actually think, and I'm not sure if you're going to agree with this. We talked about this on our shows, Brian, but I think teams like Boston and Colorado, you got to get them early. That's what you do. They will gain strength as this thing moves forward in the style that they play, and I think they're ripe for the pickings early. So, I want to take Philadelphia. I'm going to pass. I can't bet every game and every series, but we'll see what happens. I'll give it the eye test, but moving forward, pass.
Understandable. But
I do like Colorado over St. Louis in the first in that game.
Yeah. Listen, McKinnon, I don't know if you saw any of his highlights. My God.
Guys, in my opinion, I like people talk about Draisaitl and stuff. Like when I play hockey, that's the game that I want. Like I think Nathan McKinnon is the best player. Like he just does everything. Like he's tough. He gets in there. He's so fast. Like I love his game. Like I get it when you talk about a pure skill set. McDavid, Draisaitl, these guys, Panarin, but I'm a Nathan McKinnon guy, Bri. I think he's my favorite player in the league. I just love everything about him. I love the way he plays.
I still like Colorado to win the whole thing.
So do I. I got no problem. I think it's them or Vegas, and give me Colorado over St. Louis. People are talking about St. Louis. You hear the stories. We got a contact down there. They're disrespected. Binnington's fired up. No one thinks we can do anything. Well, I get it, but I'm just not sure if this team in the format, it's a bad matchup. I like Colorado. I just think Colorado comes out and makes a statement. Boom. They beat these guys. They're a better team. They'll get it done. It's a pick 'em price. I'm in.
And I will sit there and say to you, buddy, I just like the Minnesota-Vancouver games to go over the total.
So do I.
And who wins the series? I can see overtime in Game 5.
I see 4-3 games all over the place, too. I think I'm glad we're getting a 5 total. Vancouver will try to use their speed. Minnesota's a veteran team that's smart. Great contrast in styles. I love this series. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Minnesota, as dumb as this sounds, I think Stalock's a better goalie than Doobie. That's my opinion. People will have other opinions when I watch him play. I like Vancouver. I lean to them with 20 cents, but the over's the way to go.
Well,
over 5.5.
And the only thing I'd say to you when you look at it, and I know what are you going to do? You got to hang something, but I mean they're hanging the exact same total. If you've got Arizona, Nashville, and the total is
5.5,
but you've got Minnesota, Vancouver at 5.5. I mean these games are track meets.
Yeah, I think it's complete opposite. I think the Nashville game in Arizona goes under, and the other one goes over. Vancouver, Minnesota. Are we reading each other's mail or what?
No, yeah, but in terms of who wins the series, I
pass. I don't even know. I'm probably not even going to bet the series. Minnesota could win. Vancouver could win. It's tough. Just play the games, play the overs, and make money. This is basically, Brian, we're at a buffet right now. We have major items on the buffet. You've seen me eat. I usually eat everything, but maybe I'll just lay one or two things off, and go back to the things that I do. Like, we don't have to take every single thing, even though we're close to. I think we can just take the over and hope for the best, right?
I think the best bet of this first batch of games, it doesn't come until Monday. The Dallas-Vegas total should be 5.
It's going under.
It should be, and I'll tell you why. Listen, they played Arizona.
Like Vegas and the under.
But hold on, I'm telling you, it was Fleury played the game against Arizona and looked good. And Fleury's in a fight, right? And you could tell. He's like, I'm still the goalie of this team, blah, blah, blah. Well, DeBoer said they're both playing 2 games. Leonard was unbeatable in camp, and Bishop is Bishop. And Vegas did get, literally, they got an empty netter. They put 3 on board. One was a shorty, one was a power play goal, but their power play was dysfunctional. It was on an odd man rush, and Tuck scored from a horrible angle. And Pacioretty's not playing. So, yeah. I think Vegas is going to struggle for goals, and Leonard is virtually unbeatable at the moment. Honestly, this total should be 5 under 30. 5 under.
Yeah, well, we're getting it at 5.5, and I like that. I agree with you 100%. What do you think? One more on the board, buddy. What do we do with Washington, Tampa Bay? That total's 6.5. Yikes!
I will tell you something. That game, you were looking forward to the Battle of Alberta, even in an exhibition game, and then they had a little bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something here. And Tampa Bay was up to their old tricks with slashes and all this crap. Against, let me tell you something. But Ovechkin will, he'll kill people.
Of course he will.
You got Wilson. You got the serial killer. What's his name? Gudis.
Yeah, Radko Gudis. It sounds like there's some meat on a stick. No, Gudis will carve your eyes out. I'm with you. Like, Washington is not afraid of Tampa Bay. That's the thing. Tampa Bay wants to. They're going to be the bully. Washington's more of a bully than Tampa Bay. Washington to bully them.
If I were them and they're pumping, they're trying to pump ambiance into the building, I would just play Freddy Krueger music from start to finish in this game.
You're right. There's going to be teeth on the ice. I can't wait. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of Tampa Bay like other people are. I think they're a dirty hockey club, and as a Sabre fan what they did to them. I watched many games against the Leafs. They got a lot of slew footers. Chernek's a dirty player. But Washington, they can play that game. You're right. Tom Wilson's a killer. Gudis carves your eyes out. Ovechkin can put you through a board and glass. I'm actually cheering for Washington, and I think
me too.
If Tampa Bay wants to play that game with Washington, that's a big recipe for disaster because Washington wants a street fight.
Well, my whole thing about Washington, and it's funny, he was always the guy I used. Like, do teams want to be there? Well, Ovechkin's sure acting like he wants to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like Washington.
That's it. 6.5. I lean to Washington as well. Tampa Bay, until you do it, until you prove it, I'm not on board. But hey. Those 2 games are going to be great. Nice contrast in styles, too. Vegas and Dallas will be a defensive gem, and the other game will be full of power plays, killing, teeth on the ice, blood. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. COVID-19, these guys don't care. Tampa Bay and Washington, it's going to be a wicked. I can't wait.
Well, it's going to be a fun Saturday. 6 games, morning, noon, and night. It's been a fun year, Cam.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun. Now, there you have it, your preview for what lies ahead. And, we thank all of you for being with us on the Hockey Betting Podcast. It was a weird year. There's your preview, and you're off to the races, and have at it, right? It's going to be fun.
Let's make some money, buddy. Let's pad those bankrolls, man. And there's a lot of games. This is the thing. Like, we watch everything, Brian, and I think there's great opportunities to make money in these games and series. I'm jacked up.
Yes, you are. You're jacked up on a Tuesday in November.
Sometimes, yes. Yeah. Yes.
I love you, buddy. All right, it's going to be fun, man. Hockey is back. Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At BetCrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.